Holy Focaccia is exactly what you're going to be saying once you see how easy it is to make this delicious bread. Cheers, and let's cook. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix my dry ingredients, which is 1 tablespoon of kosher salt and 5 cups of bread flour, high gluten bread flour. This is a King Arthur brand. It also has a high protein content. It makes some nice dough. And we'll just set that aside. Now I'm going to go in to my bowl here with 2.5 cups of warm water between 100 and 105 degrees. To that, I'm going to add 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant active yeast. Knock that flour off, give that a little swish. I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of honey to that. That sugar is going to help that yeast. Just going to eat it and get nice and bubbly for us. So we'll let that sit for a couple minutes and be right back. Our yeast is nice and active. You can see it's tuned out all those nice bubbles. We're going to go in with about half of our flour. Just going to mix all that together until it's pretty smooth. And now for the second half. Stir that in. And now I don't want to overwork this, but I don't want any dry pockets of flour either. So just going to work it until it's nice and wet. That's looking good. Everything is nice and wet. Don't really see any dry spots. I'm going to wet my hand a little bit because this dough is sticky. The water will help it not stick to your hand. Just going to pop that out of the bowl onto my table, just so I can wash this bowl out so we can rise the dough in there. Right, now I'm just going to take my dough scraper, kind of form that into a ball, roughly. Move that out of the way. Got my nice clean bowl back. To that, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And now, in with my dough. Twist that around. Flip her over. And that's all we're doing tonight. I'm going to cover this and put it in the fridge and let it sit overnight. Or you could even let this sit in the fridge for up to 72 hours. But I'm going to do a 1-day ferment. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And we are back. It has been 24 hours, and I did pull this dough out of the refrigerator 2 hours ago, so it would come to room temperature. And it is time to get this beautiful, jiggly, bubbly dough out of the bowl and onto our sheet pan for our second rise. Now to prepare our sheet pan, I'm just going to take some butter, run that along the pan, little smears. Just going to help ensure it doesn't stick. Also going to hit that with some extra virgin olive oil. Now I'm just going to rub all that in. Making sure I get those edges nice and lubricated as well. That should do it. Now I'm going to just gently pour this dough out onto my pan. Gently stretch it to fit the pan. That should be good there. It's going to expand quite a bit while it rises. We're going to do another 45-minute rise on this guy. So I'm going to cover that with a trash bag, which I find works pretty well for this. We'll just throw a trash bag over that, and I'm going to let this rise for a half an hour, and then we're going to pretty it up. I do have a bunch of different stuff that we're going to put on top of it, but I'm going to take 5 cloves of garlic and put them in a 1/4 cup of olive oil right now. Just get that oil nice and garlicky. That's going to be one of our toppings. I also have my oven preheating to 450. Okay, I'll be back in a half hour. Let that go for a half hour, and now I'm just going to take my fingertips and make some nice indentions in here. With that 1/4 cup of oil and garlic, pour that on. Spread it around. Poke again. Alright. Now I have an array of colorful vegetables. I'm going to try to make a pretty picture on here and see how I do. Okay. I think that's looking pretty nice. Let that sit for another 15 to 30 minutes before we go into the oven. We are looking good. It's been about 20 minutes. It's risen up a little bit around the vegetables, so I'm just trying to hold them down a little while it cooks. I'm going to go into a 450-degree oven in the middle rack, and it's going to be about a 30-minute bake time, so I'm going to go for about 15 minutes and then turn it. One more thing right before we go into the oven is a nice sprinkle of some coarse kosher salt right over the top. Alright, we're ready to bake. Just pulled her out of the oven. I think it's looking pretty, and it smells amazing. I'm gonna let that sit for like 2 minutes before I pop it onto a cooling rack. There you go. You got a nice, beautiful focaccia here. At least I think she's pretty. I just started working on the focaccia art part of it, and you could definitely just use the olive oil and garlic, hit it with that coarse salt, and be fine. We'll cut up some vegetables, have some fun, see what you come up with, get creative. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe, and cheers. See you next time.